شارك أو أعلن معنا الليلة وخلي صوتك مسموع في جميع أنحاء جنوب السودان.
The Dawn on iRadio.
Right, a very good morning to you and welcome to the second half of the Dawn program here on iRadio, a live broadcast from the capital Juba. My name is Emmanuel Joseph Akile and it's Wednesday, the 10th of December 2025. Now in the second hour of the Dawn, we're going to have a very important and urgent conversation. It's serious and personal for every family listening. We are actually closing the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence here in South Sudan. It's also around the world. And this day is actually important because today we are commemorating Human Rights Day. And the theme for the 16 days of activism is Unite to End Digital Violence Against All Women and Girls. And for the human rights, we're talking about our everyday essentials. So digital violence happens when phones and social media are actually used to abuse, threaten, shame, or even exploit women and girls around the world, and for that matter also here in South Sudan. And this kind of violence does not really end on the screen. It actually enters homes, schools, and even lives. So today we are asking, are women and girls really safe online in South Sudan? To shed on light on this and more, I'm joined live in the studio by three guests. I have Kennedy Peter, who's a project officer from Israel Aid. I also have Nyakur Martha from the same organization. She's a protection officer. And we have a human rights defender with us in the studio, Betty Thomas. It's good to have all of you in the studio this morning. Welcome to iRadio.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, Kennedy, let me start with you. How common is digital violence against women and girls here in South Sudan today as we speak?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. First of all, we need to look at, when we talk of the digital violence, what are we looking at? We are looking at any form of violence that is facilitated by technology. Yeah, and South Sudan, being one of the country in the world, is not different from any other country. When we are talking of how often or how common is the digital violence perpetrated against women and girls in South Sudan, one thing we should look at is there are a number of violence that are happening to women and girls online, but without us as South Sudanese knowing that these things that are happening, it is a violation of a woman or a girl's right, then we just take it as a normal thing. Just like what you said, it is like sharing the intimate images without a consultation from one another. And for us as South Sudanese, we take it as it is just a normal thing. And being it that a man has that power, he can do whatever that he wants to do. He can share the image, he can threaten that woman with what sort of anything that he wants to do as a man. So it is indeed common in South Sudan, but we don't take it as a serious thing, because we are just taking it as a normal thing. It is internet, after all, that is it. Yeah.
Right. And Yakur, so how does digital violence really affect survivors emotionally and also mentally?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. As we have seen within South Sudan and on social media, we have seen a lot of this form of digital violence happening. Like, for instance, to me, I would say it is mostly happening to school girls. You'll find out that you might be trusting that man, and the boy is already like, they're like selling them to some media outlet, the small one, Therefore, later on, if it is spreading everywhere on social media, of course, it has a lot of impact in one's life, whereby psychologically you will be affected. And later on, most of these survivors, most of them don't report them, because when your family members, since everyone is using social media, your family members have to, like, if they have seen it, it's something that causes conflict between the communities, and whereby if anything's like causing violence between people, it happened because of you. From there, it causes blame, self-blame. You will even hate yourself. You will isolate yourself from the rest of family members, and stigmatization will also take place within the community. Therefore, I've seen a lot, and it also, in some point, it lead to someone committing suicide when you don't report. Yeah.
Right. And Betty, when we talk about this violation, why do we think, or how is it actually digital violence a violation of human rights?
Yeah. Thank you. About that, for those things happening in social media, and it is really bad, can affect someone, and it is difficult to advise somebody through the phone, don't do this. But the person, the one you are discussing with, that person, he has right maybe to communicate in social media, but don't use like to abuse someone. And sometimes it is good also to protect women's and girls. We have also to give them their right, not to just maybe like how one of the girls say here, like maybe you fell in love with someone, and then for you are very innocent, you are seated with that person in the house or somewhere, you are discussing something. That person can put the camera or set the phone somewhere. For you are very innocent. Either in the hotels, they are doing that in hotels. If you go to hotel in the corners, if you are a very clever person, you have to look around, and then all what you are doing there, it is your property with that your person, and then you'll find everything is in social media. And it is difficult to stop because it's already in the air. You cannot stop, and it is not good. You have to respect somebody's right.
Right. I saw you, Martha. You wanted to add something on that as to why do we think it's a violation of human rights?
I have seen it is violation of human right, of course. Why do I say so? Finding yourself or receiving a call from your colleagues or maybe your family that we have seen your photos, we have seen your let me say notes on social media. You did not have informed consent. That person did not obtain informed consent from you to expose you on social media. And one of the things that I've seen from girls is that they will tell you that, by the time we were in love, it is something that maybe it's something that they have agreed upon, or it is something that the man took without her notice. And then from there, this conflict in relationship, when it happened, the man from there, girl expressed that they will be like, okay, so you have started behaving this way. If you want to leave the relationship, I'll expose you. So at that point, I've seen it as violation of human rights because the other person did not agree on. If the person feels like she should leave the relationship, she has right to leave it as long as there is a valid reason for her to leave.
Right. Kennedy, do you agree with that?
Yeah, sure, I agree with it because anything that is done to anyone against that person's will, it is a violation of that person's right. Yeah, that is what I can add on.
Right. And then why do you think, why should digital abuse be really treated as seriously as physical violence, comparing the two, for instance?
Yeah, just like what my colleagues have said, digital violence deals with someone psychologically, and it can lead to even someone to commit suicide if it is not taken into serious consideration. And the reason as to why it has to be treated like it has to be taken seriously is one, this is something that is done to someone without the consensus of that person. It is like you just wake up and you start your things, you even blackmail that person, or some people even use it as a source of getting some income from, maybe if that woman is rich, or it cannot even not only be a woman, it can happen to both, even it happens to men. So any site, if that person, you see that this person is a bit wealthy, maybe this is the way I can use to get some resources from this person. So it is one thing that we should take into serious consideration and ensure that we take it serious and advocate for strong laws that are going to govern the social media operation in the country.
Right. And talking about laws, it brings me to you, Betty. Do you think our laws are really strong enough to protect victims?
It is not strong. It is not strong. Because sometimes if something happen, maybe you go to report. Like maybe you find the girl was just posting her to the social media, and those things happen a lot. Somebody should go and open the case. I need that person to remove that photo out from the social media group. But from there, she will not get anything she wanted. She will go to here, they can dodge until that thing just die like this. And then you'll fear the person should get ashamed, maybe to come to the public or to go to the social media. Some of them can commit suicide, or she can leave the country because of that. And then somebody should say, hey, are you the one? Let me say, like one time somebody came to the center. Then me, I'm not aware that they are taking my photo. I find myself, somebody asking me, are you so and so? I say yes, that I saw you in TikTok. I look for that person. I look for that person, say, please, can you remove that thing? But there is no way for them to remove. It is not good. It is not good. The person has right. If you agree with the person that, okay, let us take the photo, let us put in social media, you agree with the person. The person has right, but don't use in your own way. Yeah.
Right, bring us about 30 minutes after the hour of 7. Let's go for this short break and we'll continue with our conversation. Good morning.
Give your baby the best start from day one with Mamilac, South Sudan's #1 infant formula. Mamilac infant milk 0 to 6 months and follow-on milk 6 to 12 months are packed with all the nutrients your little one needs for a strong immune system, healthy bones and teeth, and a sharp growing mind. Proudly made in Europe, Mamilac gives your baby top quality nutrition at a price every family can afford. Grab it at any shop or pharmacy near you. Mamilac, together from birth. Your eye on South Sudan,
Welcome back from the break. You're still listening to the Dawn program here on iRadio, and I'm talking about the end of the 16 days of activism against GBV, and it is actually the Human Rights Day today. And I'm joined live in the studio by two guests from Israel Aid and also a human rights defender. Nyakuru, let me come to you. What fears do victims express when they come to seek help, based on your interaction with some of them from the organization perspective?
Okay, thank you. The fears that I always see, or they always express to us within the center when they are seeking help, is that one of the greatest fear is that the girl would be like, oh, this thing has happened to me, and the community, I mean the family are threatening her that since she's being exposed by this man, she will either be like, she will either get married to the guy, or maybe they don't like they deny her from the family, like they don't like her. She has done something, because as Betty mentioned earlier, that it is something that can be done against the will of the girl, even when she's not aware that the man is taking the photo. From there, they fear that since this thing has happened, the family, they deny her from the family. She's being isolated within the family members. Nobody like talking to her. Another fear is that even when she's coming, she's already aware that people have seen, everyone has seen within social media, even if she might not know that Martha has not seen her, but still, even from the look, she will be like, I'm already exposed. Even maybe you have seen me on social media. This is one of the greatest fear the community or the girls and women do express. Another fear is that when a woman, let me say a married woman, and maybe she has that relationship with another person, it is already exposed. Another fear is that it causes divorce within the families, among the partners. So those are the kind of fear that a woman will be like, this person has already exposed me. Even if I get divorced, he will not get married to me again, and my partner is leaving me. But the greatest fear is their children, leaving the children to the other man. And you are already being exposed. They see themselves, like I've seen a lot of women, they have that self-hate, like you hate yourself. You feel like you wish you had not accepted these guys. You have never, you have that self-blame.
Right, yes, Kennedy, I see you want to add something there. And also, how is Ezra Aid actually responding to such situations in terms of support in general?
Okay, thank you. Maybe just to add a few things to what my colleagues have said. One thing that we in most cases see is the cultural norms plays a bigger role in this intervention, whereby the community takes it in a way that, oh, this has happened to this girl. The only thing that we can do is she has to get married to the person that has exposed her. And again, the other thing is they take it in a way that since it happens to this girl or this woman, it is because of her. That is the reason as to why that has happened, because she's the one who followed that man so that they can take these photos and or anything that is being shared. And for Israel Aid as an organization, we treat each and everyone equally and in a very confidential manner, whereby we don't expose the survivors to further harm. We always have the principles of do no harm whenever we are responding to the survivors, and we follow the 4 critical principles of working with GBV survivors.
Right.
Yeah.
And Betty, so where can survivors report cases safely based on experience as a human rights defenders? And do you think also our culture and the issue of taboo, the norms, and do you see like it's one way or another affecting the survivors to actually get their rights?
Yeah, there are some places where you can report like those kind of cases for survivors. And if you report like one of the Israel Aid also mentioned, you report maybe to the police. There is a gender office there. You report there and then go to the hospital, from hospital, and then they can refer maybe to the Israel Aid. They have counselors, and then they can do the counseling, and then they can look for the place, because sometimes in the environment where those things happen, it is not fit for that person. Maybe she has the fear, and then they can take the survivor somewhere, maybe in the safe house, to be there for some time, the counseling, support at least to recover from that accident. And then also these things come back to the family. Like if you find your girl maybe got that kind of problem, maybe in social media or with the boys, don't force that girl to get married, because that girl is still under the age. And then if you force the girl to get married, still don't ask her for diary to be paid. You protect the girl, because sometimes they are blind in love. That things happen, it's an accident. After the day, things happen, and then you will see now the girl should start regretting that something happened, I have done something bad, but need support. We have to protect our girls, either women's or boys. We have to protect them. Let us not ignoring them that she's now a bad person. That is why, like now, you find a lot of things they are happening. Like boys these days, they are committing suicide. Lot of boys, but nobody went and find out why they are committing suicide. But we have to protect our boys. أو girls أو women's.
Right. ده كده بيجيبنا ل 37 دقيقة بعد الساعة 7 في استديوهات اي راديو، وهذا الوقت اللي فيه نرفع المكالمات في الموضوع اللي احنا قاعدين نناقش فيه الليلة. وده طبعا الموضوع جادي وشخصي لكل عائلة أو أسرة اللي بيستمع لنا في صباح اليوم. وده طبعا ختام بتاع الحملة بتاع 16 يوم للمناهضة للعنف القائم على النوع الاجتماعي، وكمان بيهيئوا فيه أيضا اليوم العالمي لحقوق بتاع الإنسان. والشعار العالمي لحقوق الإنسان هو لنتحد لإنهاء العنف الرقمي ضد جميع النساء والفتيات في جنوب السودان. اتصل علينا وقدم أسئلة بتاعك وتعليقات بتاعك لضيوفنا في الاستوديو على 0911 or 22 986 986. It's now time to pick few calls for your questions and comments to our guest in the studio. This is the end of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and it's Human Rights Day today. Radio.
Hello.
Yes.
Mama Maria.
Mama Maria. Welcome.
Hi. Salam le dunia tayari msementi. Salam alibunu sude de kulu kalam ale saman tumane elweledi. Lakin anna jumbi na betabu ku kalam de. Salam alibunu sude sayna basuma. Awlad رجال بجاب رجال الكبار المهم صارين يالا السكيرين ومن باسمع كلام ده قال ما كويس كانوا من باسمع كلام ده قال ما كويس معناته تغيير بجاب في السودان ده كل حاجه بيروح بيكون تمام لكن كانوا ما قاسوا بعدنا ثاني ده على قتال ثاني ده حاجه بطل لكن انا غير المهم كنت كلام ده في عمل كل من ما عملوا حاجه اللي بطل لبنات ولا للمسلمين ولا اي حاجه اللي بطل كان في السودان كل من ما عملوا لانه ده كلام الجو مش ده كلام سجامل التغيير ليه الناس بأكل في حاجه اللي بطل حاجه اللي كويس في يعني تكون جالسه في حاجه بطل معلوم ده كلام ما كويس كل من بس الناس انا ده من بجات ما فاضيين ما جاش مع راديو ومن بس كان وري لي وري قال كلامه مش في راديو كده قال عبد الله يكلونا مع راديو تمام دي حاجه اللي جت في الجنوب غير جواره لكن كان الناس جت بكلام راديو مش في راديو ده كان الجنوب ده بيكون كويس يا ولدي شكرا.
Alright, shukran jazilan, Mama Helen. I mean, Mama Maria was talking about lack of implementation of such piece of advice that are being given to people out there, and also old men continue to marry underage girls, and this is something the community or all of us need to advocate for it and to put an end to this. And also we should also listen to such conversations like what we're having right now. People should make good use of it. Let's pick a few more calls before we can come back to our guest in the studio. 0911 or 22986 قدم سؤال بتاعك وأسئلة بتاعك لضيوفنا في الاستوديو وإحنا حنقدر نرفع المكالمات. اتذكر إحنا برضو مباشرة على الفيسبوك بيج، انت برضو ممكن تخلي سؤال بتاعك هناك أو كومنت بتاعك هناك في الاستوديو وده بيجيبك مباشرة لنا هنا. We have a number of also comments here on our Facebook. Someone is saying, good morning iRadio, this is Sam. We have another one is watching us live from northern Bahr al-Ghazali state, that is Kwach Akwok. And then we also have a message here from Sabit Bab who's saying زواج عبارة عن موافقة بين بنت ورجل مع احتفالات البلاد وقفة بتاع العنف ضد المرأة وإنها زواج مبكر. أنا أعتقد إنه استخدام بتاع تيك توك للتوية بتاع الناس، أنا أعتقد عبر كفاية الآن لشريحة مستهدفة لا يوصل اليوم إلى رسالة بسبب عدم وجود تليفون لمسة في قراهم وارتفاع تعريف اتصالات عليكم. So he is talking about also the positive use of social media and saying we can also use TikTok to send this kind of messages of let's say advocating for human rights and girls' rights, and also to use it in terms of telling the stories positively instead of actually having nude or naughty kind of images or videos. But then the issue of lack of having smartphones in the remote areas or in the village is also another issue. And you're also talking about the importance of putting an end to early and forced marriage. That's a concern there from Sabit Baba. Let's speak this call. Radio. Hello, Radio.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Dominic.
Dominic Minuel.
Dominic من كور ويليام.
Dominic من كور ويليام. تفضل.
أنا معكم يا جماعة. بس كلمتين. أنا بحب يعني ونسة بتاعهم ده بكلام نسوان وكلام الفارغ ده. لكن نحن كجنوبيين بنقتل بعضهم كلام بنات. شفت بنية خنشيلو بس يعني ناس كله يمشي يموت فوقه قريب ب100 ولا 800 نفر كلام بنية. لكن كلام ده ليه يا اخوانا؟ ليه بس ما بنية بيشيلوه بكره راجل ده كان ما عنده اي حاجه بكره ممكن ربنا بيرجبه بيجيبوا اي حاجه كمان بكره في بيتهم هنا. فانا ما عندي كلام كتير. ناس اللي عندهم كلام قتلوا زول كلام بنية ده يا جماعه اللي يسيبوا كلام ده.
Alright, شكرا لك دومينيك. ده كلام تودي بيرجع في موضوع culture. You know, when it comes to culture sometimes instead of having a peaceful marriage, it ends up with violence, and people actually lose their lives because of the celebration or because of the issue of marriage. Hi Radio.
Hi Radio. Mark Deng Pijinduro.
Deng, تفضل طوالي.
طبعا موضوع بتاع تيك توك ده وتلفون السماعة ده حاجة ده وما كويس نهائيا. ده داير الناس يشوفوا كويس. وموضوع البيت اللي بزوجوا ده طبعا اتفاق بين العريس وطلع البيت. لو يتفقوا العريس بيشيل مرته، لكن لو ما يتفقوا بيشوف الحال ثاني. طبعا بيكون البيت مجبور ده الراجل، والراجل بيكون مجبور ده البيت ده. والناس يرقد بعد زمن هو بلقوا مال بتاعهم، مال ما بلقوا يوم واحد. ده من الكالتشر بتاعنا. وشكرا.
Alright, شكرا لك. موضوع بتاع تيك توك he argues TikTok is not good and it's not actually helping us. But then also, when it comes to the issue of marriage, it's supposed to be an agreement between the two instead of forcing the girl. Hi Radio.
Emmanuel جوزيف أكلم معكم
Isaac تفضل طوالي.
السؤال بتاعي بمشي كده ليهم هما في حاجة الليلة دنا متزوج بيت إذا فوق المهر ده بزيادة وبزيادة اللي أنت بتدفع. هل تبي إذا كان أنا دفعت المال كله للبيت ده وأنا شلته في البيت، هل تاني يادو حقيقة عشان البيت ده يقول قال عنده حق بتاعت المرأة في بيت ده، أو صوت بتاعت المرأة عنده الحقيقة بتاعه عشان يمارس عمل بتاعه زي ما هو دايره. إنه أنا اشتريت المرأة ذاته ده بقى ما مهر، لكن ده شنو؟ زي زول اشترى حاجة من الدكان معناه ده مملوك عليه بيمشي حسب رأي بتاعي. اتنين بتاعه إنه في المجتمعات بتاعتنا يعني بتلقى الراجل هو بقى مدخل زيادة. يعني ذاتنا نتمنى إنه السنة الجاي يكون في ومن ده يومن رايد بتاع الرجال عشان هي الرجال ذاته تعبانين. يعني بتلقى المرأة أبو المرأة أخو المرأة إذا كان هم بس تعبانين أو عيانين إلا بيجيبوا الحمولة وكل شيء لتاني راجل ويسأل كانوا هم بيصيروا فوق ده. هل السؤال في الثلاثة بتاعه البيت الليلة ده لما نمشي في زواج هي صغيرة كويس وده الراجل قادر يمسك وهي قادرة تمسك بيتها كويس ودل ما قادر نمشي الزواج لكن تلقاهم يهو في كنات ولا في ناتو دل أيهما الأفضل؟ على البيت تكون هي قاعدة في بيت أو احترمت سمة بيتها وسمة بيت أسرة بيتها، ولا هي بتكون لافة زي ما نحن قاعدين نشوف في الدواهي بتاعت المدن سامتايم ما نحن قاعدين نشوف بيت بيمشي في ويكند وبيجي صباح هي ما مسؤولة ويعطونا كده. أيهما الأفضل فيهم؟ شكرا.
شكرا جزيلا لبعض من الأسئلة بتاعكم. نمشي لفاصل بسيط وبعد ذلك ضيوفنا حيجاوبوا عليه. Maybe I probably start with Betty. You can respond to some of the questions. The last caller, Isaac, was talking about the issue when it comes to the high dowry when it comes to the payment, and it ends up like a man feels like they own the woman because of the dowry. She has no right of saying yes or no. She just has to obey the orders from the husband. It's because of the family of the woman itself, or the girl, asking for such amount of money. And also he talked about the issue of we need a Human Rights Day for men as well. So he thinks this Human Rights Day is only for women. So maybe you guys can explain more about that. Yes, let me start with you, Mama Betty. تبقدر جاوبك الناس الأصل بعربي تبذكر تبقدر جاوبهم كمان.
أنا بجاوبها. شكرا للفرصة. ده سؤالات الكويس. هو فعلا كلام الزواج ده وكلام ده سياسة بصفة الرجال. يعني نجي أمهات أنا عنده بنية ليلة. Binia de ligolo rajil jibu fi bet ita binadi gurush de wele kanabgar ta binadi bara min gonun yala iris de bikunte gil ita marf gali binia de gira geni fi bet de kaman der musada u binia de kaman fi safa tarajil to de kan haja hasil fi bet mara de lisa mon ja baga kanu usra wahid mon bisadu badun ma fi dayata bishilu mali ketiri san biende karafi bedde ma bodilo ihtiram bistamilo je haja lo derik ba kanu haja biu min mahal jibule mahal o ma kwesina suya kenna gero kalamata sunu kalamata zawajde yala kaman haja tani fi safata ta ina je yalta fi biut masalan bana de kan gura fi zawaj ita umade ita bonus ketir fi safata binia de bes mushkila bes banat tanna de mendi sunu nuswan mendi sot mon mago di raele nuswan ita biligo binia de kangira jozu umade mekin wele wahid min nas anti der wonu sufi kalam de aje de kerma kunje de umon magirudu nakin umade wendo right alikamanta kombasa duo msan kede na kisu kalam ta zawajde kede ma asuru binia de biro kun taban fisunu fi kalam ta zawajde ana juwadi bes siya haja besit an gisa kida o ma gisa lakin hasal ana yo marka braksha ana kerem ne wele de gurusta de alfen o gal alfen usangal alfen ana gal malise wele di mikinta ne siba yom tane gal la itaruf usbal fatana dafa mali la da tala zalan jar bende kanja fi betana maba musko beteri ga quiz yan gatalo mali ketir udeki da batal de buralina je parents kede na ihtarim fi zaman ta iris binia de kede shilu beteri ga quiz yala kaman binia kan suker binia de accident hasilo making mon fail in love wele de mata kon asoro mata nata kon mali ita kede hilu mushkila de ita barfu je parents binia de o ma bi tim san bams ko bedde kaman wele de mikin suker ma bagder san mon bigeni sawa ita kon bi ferta ko kalam de ita kon birija bende kan fi madrasa wele de birija fi madrasa ma ko sta kon basur san fi nihaya bine de bija wele de bija ni jere taban bini kan da man wele du nas ma ji kutu balle bene bagi nata ba samel ketir lakin wele bi continue masunu magira to yala makwes alta kon bamul haja kida ita hon lazim keda ayno binia de salo wele du kenna kuto fi bet ina bamul sunu rijo fi madrasa bukuro bikun aksen haja min alta kon basuro fi malta zawaj de kede jali go karas mo chuat warf galde betta sara mo zuruf ana bagdara musku bedde.
All right, good. Yes, now Kennedy, it's your turn. You can pick some of the questions. We have a number of them. We already talked about a lot of things. Dominic and Deng also mentioned the issue of TikTok. Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah, maybe just to start with someone asking that we always talk about girls and women right. When will the men and the boys right comes? Like the day of today is not only looking at the women or the girls right, but when we are looking at the theme for the 16 days of activism, it's majorly focus on women and girls. Reason being that if we are to take a percentage at which this incident is happening, women and girls are at more risk compared to the men. If we are to take 10 out of 20, then we'll get maybe it is only one man that it has happened to, but when we look at the women's side, maybe it can be 4 or 5. going forward. And to the issue of the social media that some of the callers talked about, it is our role as the community, it is our role as the parents to educate our children on the positive growth, on how they can live. We should not wait for the international organizations to come and do it for us. Let's start it at the local level, and we advocate and we make sure that we create a generation that is respecting all human rights. That is one thing I can say. And there is someone who talked of this information is okay, but are we sure that this information is being heard outside? That is our role as a community, to ensure that the information that we are delivering today is being heard outside there. And it should be also the role of the community to bring this information close. They said that when you don't have information or knowledge about anything, then you tend to take it that it is just normal. That is why it is very okay, it is very healthy for us to educate our community on the positive use of the social media. We can use the social media to do positive things that can answer us living, compared to sharing this other violation photos on social media.
Yes, yeah. and I come to Martha, but I also want to add a few comments here on our Facebook in terms of questions, and maybe you can also comment because I have about only 7 minutes to the top of the hour. Ayaki is saying, thanks for the program, but then he's saying men and boys can also be in danger. And he's saying someone can actually pretend to be a beautiful woman, and they can make the boy or the man send nude photos. After that, then they can actually blackmail the man or the boy by threatening to actually show the photos in public. So this also causes some males to actually commit suicide. So not only girls or women are victims when it comes to social media, but also men and boys as well. Dico DeAndre here is also saying the online bullying of a South Sudanese woman reflects a serious social failure. So you're saying we need public awareness on digital responsibility and fact tracking of proactive laws actually when it comes to digital violence, and it has become actually a national concern. Finally, Garang here is saying good morning, and I'm watching live from Muniki. My point is that he's saying his point is that why human rights don't actually advise girls about love interest, because women and family of girls, sometimes when you see your daughter have a new iPhone 15, nobody asks her. That's also a concern. So briefly, Kenneth, I want you to comment before I can actually give the mic now to Martha.
Yeah, let me start with the person who talked of boys and men are also victim of the digital violence. Earlier on, I said it is right, it happens to both, being it that boys, men, girls, and women, it happens to both. But the rate at which it is happening differs. Like women and girls face the higher rate compared to the men and boys. It doesn't mean that men and boys are not considered. Like Israel Aid, in our programming, we work with each and everyone. When it comes to a case management process, we also have case workers who are male, who can respond to the male cases. That is one thing that we do as Israel Aid. And to the person who talked of why the human rights defenders not advising the girls on issues of love. You find your girl with an iPhone 15 and you don't talk. This strictly goes to
Martha is laughing seriously here.
This strictly goes to our parents. Yeah. Before the human rights defenders comes up and talk, what is the role that the parents are playing? As a father outside there, what is the role that you're playing to ensure that your daughter gets that best life that she deserves? Your boy gets that best love that he deserves. And also the mothers. how do you ensure that your girls grow up in that manner, that the way that you grew up during those days?
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, Martha, yes, you can add something on some of the concerns raised before you can wind up. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Most of the things have been answered by Kennedy and Betty. I may only comment on that issue of when you see your girl with iPhone 16, you keep quiet. But when it comes to maybe seeing her nakedness on social media, that's when you shout out. Yes, we may. To me, I would say that it actually goes to our parents, our guidance. You know, when the way you treat your children from young age up to when they reach 18 years there, how you provide them with the information, how you educate them, because you know, receiving things from strangers, you have to know that there will later be either positive or negative impact on it, because nowadays there's nothing for free. That's why you have seen me laughing. Of course, I've seen there was some man from Nigeria yesterday, like the girl, he provided his girlfriend with iPhone 17 latest. Then from there, the girl, he impregnated the girl. By the time maybe the girl came to him, like, you know, I'm 1 month pregnant. Now the man was like, what did your mother say and your dad? Then the guy was like, the girl was like, they're shouting at me. And even my mother noticed. She told me she doesn't want me home. Now the question was, by the time I bought for you this iPhone 17, what did your parents say to you? The girl say no. And now why is it that they're shouting at you after they have seen that the result of that iPhone 17 is already out? That means it is weakness from our parents. Yeah.
Right. Maybe a few seconds, Mama. If you, Betty, if you can say your last message as we wind up our conversation before I can give mic to Kennedy to say something briefly.
Okay, I want to add something a bit about the protection for the boys. You know, sometimes men, they don't come out. There are some men, they really abuse them with the women's, but they don't come out. You'll find after you saw the man is really suffering, you approach that person, then she'll open up. Let them also, if there's a problem, let them report. And then what I'm going to say about this, let us outside there, let us protect our girls. You saw the girl at home going out, you see where that girl is going. And the way also our girls, they behave outside. Like if you go to Nyakuren, you will not see them twice if you're really like a parent. Because our girls outside, they really also behave. Yeah, we have to also protect our girls, talk to them, put them down, and if something happen, we have to advise them. Let us not chase or beat and no. Let us protect them.
Right. Kennedy, on behalf of Ezra Aid, briefly, in a few seconds, because running out of time, your message, I was wind up our conversation for this day, Human Rights Day. Yes.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. On behalf of Israel, we'll still stand and encourage the community, the family level, that we should be the first point to our children. We should be those first people that guide the children to do the rightful thing. And to the lawmakers, let's ensure that we strengthen the laws that is governing the digital operation in the country, so that such kind of things that we are talking about today doesn't repeat itself to happen. That is all I can say. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Kennedy Peter and Nyakur Martha, both from Israel Aid, and Betty Thomas, Human Rights Defender. Thank you all for joining us on the Dawn today on the 16 days of activism and of it, and which is the Human Rights Day. With that, we have come to the end of the Dawn edition for today. Join us again tomorrow at the same time to get the latest on what's happening in South Sudan and also beyond the borders. Up next, news in Arabic on behalf of the Dawn team. Geoffrey Amanya, Darlington Moses, producer Dico Di Andrew, Irene Jackson. This has been Emmanuel Joseph Akile. Have a good day. Stay